Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay to clap.
How's everybody doing out there?
Yes.
Hopefully you guys are ready for a great weekend.
I'm going to try to
I know it's
get
great
you a
to be
little
back here,
energized.
back in the building. So lovely to see so many beautiful faces.
Hi.
Well, give me your tips, baby. Oh, I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're wonderful blonde, oh, you're a beautiful lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Oh, yeah, girl, I'm gonna show you in your mind, oh, oh, treasure. That is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true if you let me treasure you. Yeah. If you let me treasure you. Oh, oh. Well, pretty girl, you should be smiling. A girl like you should never look so blue. You're everything I see in my dreams. You know I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't true. Whoa, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Whoa, and girl, I'm gonna show you in your mind, all right. Oh, treasure, that is what you are. Hey, honey, you're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true if you let me treasure you. If you let me treasure you. Oh, oh, well, you are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Say you are my treasure. Come on, you are my treasure. Oh, oh, treasure. Say that is what you are. You are my treasure. You're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true if you let me treasure. Now I'm just saying, we did this for the kids, right? And they love this song because they'd say something back when we say it to them. You ready? So I say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Oh, you are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Oh, yeah, yeah. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Yeah. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Oh,
It's all right to enjoy yourself. It's all right.
Yes.
It's all
How
right.
y'all doing today? Y'all ready to have a good time? All right.
Let's see if y'all know this one.
It's a noted but a goodie.
Not that old.
I mean. Hey! Come on. Yes, we can.
Can you feel it?
Yes, we can.
Can you feel it?
Yes, we can.
Can you feel it?
When you wish upon a star, your dreams will take you very far. When you wish upon a dream, hey, life ain't always what it seems. Oh yeah. What you say, your night so clear, yeah. In the sun so very clear, yeah. You're a shining star. Come on. No matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be, what you can truly be. Hey! It's been a long year, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, put your hands together. Come on. Hey! Charlie Stockholm interview. Shining sparkle light on you. Give me strength to carry on, yeah. I'll make your body big and strong. Won't you help me now?
Oh, the man top of the sun.
Come on.
Well, I saw my work had just begun. Thought I had to stand alone. Well, but blessed now I got my own. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
If you find yourself in me,
don't you listen
to these words of heed. Me a giant grain of sand. Words of wisdom, yes I can. Hey, you're a shining star. No matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be. You're a shining star. No matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
You know
Come
what?
on, Simon.
You know what?
Come on.
You know what?
How about you let them know?
I gotta tell y'all now.
Hi.
Can you say put your hands together?
Come on.
Yes.
You say, come on. Let me get, come on.
I might have said it once or
Wherever
twice.
you are, come on. We're gonna have a good time this morning. Everybody, come on. Put your hands together.
Hey. There you
Hey! I'm going all the way to the back of the room. I'll be back.
go. Yeah.
Put your hands together. Come on.
You know they haven't seen a live performance in 15 months. Let's go.
Hey! Live music. Get it. Yeah. All right, now. Let's see who's paying attention. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Hey! Now, wave your hands in the air. Throw them around like you just don't care.
I don't care.
And if you came to party with down rain, everybody say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
Here
somebody
we
scream.
go.
Shining star for you to see
What your life can truly be.
Shining star for you
To see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
Woo, give yourself a round of applause. You know, I didn't have any rhythm before this morning. Oh. If you don't want to see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, if you want to believe that anything could stop me, come on. Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Aren't you the guy who tried to hurt me with the words goodbye? Though it took some time to survive you, I'm better on the other side. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, hey, there you go. If you want to believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. We got any flossers in here? You look like a flosser. I'm not where you left me at all. So, you don't want to see me. All right, you know what? Soul clap. Come on, soul clap.
Clap, clap, clap.
Clap your hands, yeah. All right, now a little quieter. You know, all this noise gets, you know, just a little quieter. Now, if you're standing up, I want to see how low you can go. If you're sitting down, well, you're as low as you can go. But come on, keep it going. You know what? Bring it up a little higher now. A little higher, yeah. A little higher, yeah. A little higher, yeah. Yeah. If you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, if you want to believe that anything could stop me, if you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, if you want to believe that anything could stop me. Whew. So I'm just going to put it out. Now, it's okay to dance. I don't want you to look at your table member who's doing it lonely by themselves and let them be by themselves. It's okay to get up and do that. Stretch it out. Oh, wait a minute. This is the kids' song, right?
I know some of y'all know this song. I can just sing along. Come on. I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe. You don't even do too much. You can turn me on just a touch. Baby. I like to find since city's cold and empty, no one's around to touch me. I can see clearly when you're gone. Oh, I said, ooh, I'm riding by the light. No
can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm riding in the night. Oh, when I like this, one night touch. Hey, hey. There you go. Yeah, she over there working it out. Let's go.
I can see the sun right up the sky. Maybe you could take an overdrive, baby.
Oh, the city's cold and empty. No one's around to touch me. I can't see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm riding by the light. No, I can sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm riding in the night. But I like this little one night just. Hey, hey. On the phone. I've been waiting up to be alone. I will never let you go alone this time. Alright, come on. Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can sleep until I feel your touch. Yeah, give it up for yourself.
Yeah.
Give some round of applause.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we present the colors and our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Welcome to the 27th Annual National Military Survivor Seminar in Good Grief Camp, in person and virtual. Oh, it is so good to be back together. It is absolutely wonderful to see everybody in 3-dimension. I know we've been together on Zoom. Some of us have been together at regional seminars. Many of you are here at TAPS for the very first time. I want you to know that you are in the right place. This is our home for the weekend, and this is a beautiful place where love is spoken, where stories are told, and where legacies live. I want to give another round of applause to Audrey Bogelsdijk, who is a Navy veteran, a Navy surviving spouse, our Vice President of Survivor Services at TAPS, and an amazing singer. Audrey, you are awesome. That national anthem was from the heart, and it was magnificent. I am a military daughter. I am a military veteran, and I am a military survivor. I lived the American dream just as you did, and then that dream was shattered, just as it was in your life. When my husband and 7 other soldiers were killed in an Army plane crash in the mountains of Alaska, there was no TAPS. There was no place for all of us to find this community of wonderful care, to come together and support each other. Not just to grieve as one, but to live as one. You know, we were expected to be strong. We were told that time would heal and we should be over it. Has anyone heard that? I know people mean well. But after looking around for this kind of community, this kind of support, this kind of family, I found that it didn't exist for the military. And wow, there was that point where I said, you know what, if not now, then when? And went ahead and gathered up survivors and started talking and talked to the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Department of Defense and identified the gaps that existed in what was available from the government and what was offered already in the private sector. And it was out of all of that research and out of that love and care and the little group of us that huddled around that we developed this wonderful organization. And we knew there had to be more of us out there. It was just a matter of building that home for everyone to come together. So TAPS has been built on love, and today we are recognized as the frontline partner of the military casualty branches in providing support, comfort, and care to all those grieving the loss of a loved one, no matter how or where that loss occurred, no matter our relationship to them, and no matter of the duty status. If their life included selfless service to this nation, we are there for them with resources and support. We have emotional support to heal our hearts, casework assistance to meet our needs. Our 24/7 helpline is there for our darkest hours, and our community-based care is our connection to every bit of support that's available wherever we live across this country. We don't have a membership fee because the price of admission to this organization is the death of someone we love, and that is the highest price anyone can pay. We are here together to love and honor our heroes, to remember the lives lived, and to love and to honor each other. This is our home for the weekend, and whether you're here in this room in person, and thank you for making the journey and having the courage to come, or you're watching us virtually, we're so grateful that you're part of this family and that you've reached out your hand, because we're grabbing on and we're holding it tight. I gotta say, I bet when you told people that you were coming to a grief conference for the weekend, they were like, oh, I'm so glad. No, thank God, finally. But honestly, did you think any of them envisioned you would be having like a dance party beforehand? and there would be a drum set on the stage. Downrange has been a wonderful part of TAPS for many, many years. It's the Army Band. They tell us that this is the one event of the year that they circle and they wouldn't miss for anything. They were just in this room 2 hours ago with the kids and lifted the roof off this hotel. It was awesome. Crystal Reams, who was the lead singer, how many of you saw her on America's Got Talent with Voices of Service? Yes. She is amazing. And spoiler alert, Voices of Service is going to be performing for us tomorrow night. Yeah! That is, oh my gosh, amazing. They're beautiful. And I hope you just felt the heart that they have and the love that they have for all of us. This is personal and we are family. But this is your time. This is your time to be here. It is your time to heal. Sometimes we come with our hearts lighter. And sometimes we come with a heavy heart, and sometimes we just don't feel like we have much of a heart left at all. You know, a survivor once said to me, we aren't here because they died. We're actually here because they lived. And they lived, and we love them. We're here honoring a life that included selfless service to this nation. And we know just with a look across the room that we are understood and we are embraced. Early on, when our big national gathering could fit around just 2 or 3 tables, we had the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, at the time, General John Shalikashvili, come and speak to us at our banquet. And he, really didn't know much about what we were doing, but as he sat at the table and he listened to people sharing photos and telling stories, telling the life story, getting to know each other's loved ones and getting to know each other, he had this epiphany. And he said, when he got up to speak, he said, now I get it. We in the military can't do for you what you must do for each other. He said, now the military and the government can render final honors, provide the final resting place, administer the government benefits to those who are eligible. But what we can't do is wrap our arms around as you do with each other. As a mother can do to another mother, as a widow comforting another widow, creating this family and these generations of peer mentors that come back to TAPS to provide support and community. What he witnessed were conversations that were authentic and that were raw. You'll find at TAPS that we don't talk much about the weather because we have bigger things to talk about. We talk about life and we talk about loss. We talk about joy, we talk about pain. We are there for each other without judgment, with only acceptance. So he pledged his support, and when he went back to the Pentagon, he connected all of the casualty branches with what we were doing, who we were, what we were about, and since that time, we have had this amazing relationship. General Martin Dempsey, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, is actually on our board of directors. Deb Mullen, the wife of his predecessor, Admiral Mike Mullen, is also on our board of directors. And on Saturday night, in true TAPS tradition, General Mark Milley, the current chairman of the Joint Chiefs, will be with us for dinner. Yay. So the heart of what we do is hope and healing. It is honor and remembrance. It's learning not just to survive, but to thrive, to become stronger in the broken places, to honor the life lived, no matter how or where that death occurred. At TAPS, we have a simple prayer. Thank God for the little while. Whether they were 19 or 90, the time we had with those we love would never be enough. But thank God we had them in our lives, and they loved us, and we loved them, and we still do. I believe that love is stronger than death, that the lives of those who we love and remember are etched not just into a granite marker on a gravesite, but carved into stone, into our soul, imprinted on our hearts, and woven into the fabric of our nation. They make us stronger, they inspire us, and in that way, they are eternal. Of our loved ones, whose names are carved into stone, we may say they were incredibly, irrepressibly full of life and ask, if they were not immortal, what of the rest of us? Well, they are immortal because they live on in the words and hopefully the deeds of every person whose life they touched. My husband really was my hero. He was an amazing man, and he was a really gifted speaker. And if he were here today, his words to you would be simple. Life is rarely understandable, and it is often very unfair. We're all living on borrowed time borrowed from God. The material things in life are fleeting, and it is our friendships and our family that remain. Cherish each moment that you have. As long as our country lives, those who have given their lives in service to their nation will never be forgotten. This Memorial Day, America will pause to reflect on the tremendous sacrifices made by our military. And our military is holding the names of our loved ones close in their hearts. We stand shoulder to shoulder at TAPS with the Department of Defense to deliver services and support immediately after the death of a service member. No matter how or where that death has occurred, TAPS is connected to that family. They are told that we are there for them with open arms, with additional support, with comfort and care, with a kind word from someone who has walked this journey and is ready to take them by the hand and lead them forward. We are so honored to have that kind of relationship now for nearly 30 years with the Department of Defense. And today I am particularly honored in one of her first public appearances. We have with us the Deputy Secretary of Defense, Dr. Kathleen Hicks. Dr. Hicks is... Dr. Hicks is the 35th Deputy Secretary of Defense and holds a PhD in political science from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. She is the former Senior Vice President and Director of the International Security Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. She is an extraordinary woman. She understands our mission. She gets it. She knows who we are and why we're here. And Dr. Hicks, I'm so grateful that you've joined us. Please join me in welcoming the Deputy Secretary of Defense of the United States of America, Dr. Kathleen Hicks.
Oh, thank you all. Well, good morning. Thank you for that introduction, Bonnie. And it's such a pleasure for me to be with all of you today and have the opportunity to thank Bonnie and her whole team and just to see all of your faces here. As Bonnie said, and as you all are more than well aware, for over 30 years, TAPS has built an unparalleled community and touched innumerable lives. You are absolutely remarkable as a community. Again, thank you for coming. I know we have people joining us virtually, but for those in the room, it's so wonderful to be able to gather, isn't it, after the year we've had, to come back in person together. Thank you. Those of you who traveled from far to get here and I'm sure had to undertake many logistical hurdles. It's just so wonderful to have this community. If this is the first time that you're joining TAPS, I want to welcome you to this just extraordinary gathering. It's an organization that stands ready to assist at all times, every day, and it understands that no one should go through this alone. I'm incredibly honored to be with you on Memorial Day weekend. I come from a military family. It's a large family. I am one of 7. And my father had a more than 30-year career in the Navy. 3 of my siblings were in the military. Several of our next generation also served, and we still have one on active duty. Probably like many of you, I've lived all across this country, from Hawaii to Connecticut. My husband is also a brat, Air Force in his case, and he has also served as a civilian in the Department of Defense. As a civilian, I've dedicated my career to the U.S. military and the nation's defense for also almost 3 decades. Taps and I have a similar career trajectory. I began working at the Pentagon in my early 20s, and I was there on 9/11 when we lost 125 coworkers and all 64 passengers of American Airlines Flight 77. This is all simply to say that the military family is also my family. But you are a very special community within our military family. Even as the nation pauses this weekend to express gratitude for all that you and your loved ones have given for this country, those of us outside the survivor community can't really know what it means or how it feels. Some of you, I'm sure, are caring for others who are themselves grieving. You're likely the primary caregivers for those people, even as you are grieving and living. For all of you, I can't truly know what it means to walk in your shoes, but I can and I do admire that you keep walking. My heart goes out to every one of you. Memorial Day and gatherings like this are a real opportunity for our nation to thank you, to recognize you and your loved ones, and to honor them. For that, as the Deputy Secretary of Defense and as an American citizen, I am forever grateful. And while we publicly celebrate your loved ones, you all knew them individually and intimately as family members and friends. You have the daily reminders and stories to tell and to retell to keep the connection to them alive. And this opportunity this weekend to gather here and share with each other your stories and those lives is so important. More than that, we're also here to honor you, to be with you, and to support you. Here with TAPS, you are surrounded with support and by community. I was speaking last night to my husband about coming here this morning. Growing up, he and his family were close friends with another Air Force family. And the father of that family, a pilot who was a mentor to his father, my father-in-law, and that family had 2 young boys, just like him and his brother. The father was declared missing in action and eventually declared deceased in Vietnam. And that loss, absolutely devastated, of course, the family, but it also devastated the community. So my husband and I were talking last night about how critical that community, the families, friends, and neighbors were for that kind of mutual support. Each one of you has your own story of loss and grief and living. And you deserve support from the Department of Defense. And you deserve to know that it is a family to which you will always belong. But here, you come together as a family of survivors. TAPS is the embodiment of what being in this military should mean. And no matter how you got here or how long it has been since you have begun coming here, Bonnie and her team welcome everyone with hugs and tears and laughter, and I have seen that in only 5 minutes walking down the hallway with Bonnie today. TAPS helps us, including me, as I stand here today with you, take love and strength back into the world. This amazing organization is knitting together volunteers, specialists, service members, family, colleagues, and friends. It is a remarkable cross-section that really does represent the best of this country, and this year's program will only strengthen those connections. I know that you've had the Good Grief Camp. I think it may be happening right now, and I'm so grateful that these children have a safe harbor here to shelter them, a bond of community to support them. What a gift that you're giving them. Thank you for those who've brought them here today. Let me just close by thanking you and wishing you great strength on this Memorial Day weekend. Please know that we are standing with you and remembering all those that we, this nation, and you as families and friends have lost. Thank you again, and I hope it's a great weekend.
Wow, that was absolutely brilliant. She's got to get back to the Pentagon. They have a lot going on, but it was amazing that she was able to be with us now. I'm just so touched by her words. We were very fortunate in the Good Grief Camp this morning to hear from the most senior enlisted member of our American military forces. Senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, Ramon Colon Lopez, is a United States Air Force pararescueman. He has served in combat deployments around the world, including in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, and so many other locations. He and I have a connection that goes back really to the 90s when I served in the Alaska Air National Guard with the 210th Air Rescue Squadron with the pararescuemen, and have a great respect for your career field. We have many mutual friends, but back in those days, TAPS had a charity sporting event called the Armed Forces Eco Challenge. It was a qualifier for the big Eco Challenge, and every branch of the military put forward their best, most elite special forces to compete in that. And we had the Green Berets, the Rangers, the pararescue, and the Force Recon from the Marines. And for both years that we did that race, I have to say, it was the pararescuemen that took it. And it was, and many mutual friends through that. So as I said, the Good Grief Camp opening was epic. It was absolutely magnificent. And sir, your remarks were extraordinary. So I'd like to ask you to come back up and share the love with the adults today. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome. And I don't know how I got doomed to follow DepSecDef Hicks, but I start by saying this. I mean, she's got a pretty impressive resume, capped by a PhD, political science. I don't have one of those, but I have a black belt in no can do. So I would like to share that with you. I'm also honored to be here with General Hopkinson, our chief of the National Guard Bureau, who's a stellar officer, and we get to spend some time together in the current battle space. So, sir, thank you so much for being here today. And I just wanted to take 1 second to just scan the room one more time. And the reason I'm doing this is because what is in front of me, what is in front of every single one of us, are the finest families America has to offer. There's no division here. Everybody's united. Everybody has a common thread, and that is sacrifice. And every single one of you still is willing to give back to those that follow, because we know that sacrifice is necessary for freedom. So how about we give each other a round of applause for each and every one of you. And I tell you that Janet and I are really honored to be here because we share something in common, and that is the loss of someone. Janet and I have lost many friends in the battle. We have lost friends to suicide. We have lost parents. And we have been in your shoes. So we clearly walk in the shoes that you wear today. But in the military, we often call ourselves a band of brothers and sisters. And the reason we do that is because we take care of one another. And we dare to go forth into harm's way to preserve this nation's treasure, and that is our freedom. The company here today are those related to those brave souls that decided to go ahead and pay the ultimate price. And that is not exclusive to combat, because in order to pay that price, you only have to do one thing, and it's serve the nation. And that is our common bond. Ever since I became a young pararescueman, I've always lived my life by one motto, and one motto only. And that is, I can have Bonnie say it, but that motto is that others may live. And every single one of these young men and soon-to-be women here in the near future know exactly what that means. And that is to give people a second chance. And the effect of that motto is nothing more that leave no one behind. And today is no different, because we're here for each other. Make sure that we carry on with life as it is for every single one of us. So when I talk about being here today, I don't consider myself a guest speaker. I am a common person. We have a lot in common. And I'm talking about the pain, the grief, the anguish, the anger, and that shift in inner peace that can flip in a nanosecond from happy to sad. I'm here to reassure you that together, by learning from each other, we can find a way to happiness. In all of our suffering, in every single period of darkness, somewhere there's going to be light awaiting us. But that all depends on the path we decide to choose. And in order to keep the memories of those alive, those that we lost, we must seek happiness, pride, and purpose to be that guiding compass that will carry us forward. And I'll tell you, knowing my friends, some which the parents are here today, they wouldn't want me to be sad because we lost them. My parents wouldn't want me to be angry because they're gone. Instead, I will guarantee you that every single one of them, as they look down on us, will want us to be happy, to make something worthy of our lives so that they can continue to swell with pride like they did when they were amongst us. And that is really the gift that we can give every single one of them with every breathing moment that we have. Like it was said before, this life is temporary. But to say that that will be easy will be a farce. It will be a pipe dream. It's going to take a lot of work, but most importantly, the gift that you're getting here today is that supporting network that can get you to a place where you can thrive. That is where TAPS comes in, to serve as our point man in this formation, in the direction of our travel, as our lead navigator. TAPS is a place where every single one of us belongs. Parents, siblings, children, volunteers, staff members, because we have all served, as stated before. And to all the volunteers and mentors, I have to thank them. Janet and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you're doing. So how about we give them a round of applause? And then lastly, as your fourth senior enlisted advisor to the chairman and a former pararescueman, I promise you each day that I'm in duty and post-military life that I will not leave any one of you behind. Any generation that comes behind you that is related to us because of the blood and treasure that has been paid for the sacrifices of freedom will always be in my heart. We'll continue to support the efforts of every organization that does something similar to what TAPS is doing, because it's a noble thing to do. It is continuing care for those that have given all. If we do that, we will be better and we will be strong. And that is not a cliche. That is just a fact. Janet and I love you, even though we haven't personally met you. And that love comes from the knowledge of your sacrifice, which is the foundation of military service. Bonnie, we love you too, my friend. And we look forward to a continued partnership to continue to care for this great group of Americans, which is you, the military family. Thank you, and make the best of this program and forge bonds and friendships for life, that others may leave. Love you all, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. What an honor to have you here. Your words were absolutely right to our heart, and we are very, very grateful. It is now my great honor to introduce a dear friend. General Hopkinson and his wife have been part of our TAPS family for a very long time. Kelly Hopkinson, who is here today, actually has been a volunteer in our office for many years, and I've been a friend for the past 20 years. But Kelly, I just want to recognize you and what you have done for all of us in your service for TAPS. Can you stand up and just let us, thank you. A lot of our senior military spouses have volunteered occasionally. Kelly has been a steadfast volunteer, and it just speaks to the kind of leadership team that we have at the National Guard Bureau. In my family, my husband actually grew up as a bereaved child. His father was the adjutant general in the Alaska National Guard and was killed in a National Guard plane crash when Tom was just 15 years old, leaving he and his three brothers to grieve the loss and be there with a grieving mom. 3 out of the 4 brothers went into the military immediately out of high school because that was all the life that they knew. Tom stayed in for a career and rose after a service on active duty, came back home to the National Guard and rose to the rank of Assistant Adjutant General in the Alaska Army National Guard. I served in my career in the Air National Guard. So we truly were a Guard family that was tremendously proud to serve and then was touched by loss. So as I mentioned earlier, Tom and 7 other soldiers were killed in a Guard plane crash that took the lives of the entire senior leadership. And it was out of that crash and from those surviving families that TAPS was born. So TAPS really had a start in the National Guard community. It means an awful lot to me. It means an awful lot to our families who have served in the National Guard and borne a tremendous weight of the past 2 decades of deployed service. To know that we are here now at a point when the Chief of the National Guard Bureau will stand before us and speak to us and embrace our organization and partner even closer today to make sure that every single Guardsman who is serving, who has deployed, who has worn the uniform, and has died, no matter how or where or what their duty status was at the time of their death, that their family is loved and embraced and connected to TAPS and honored and remembered. This is historic for our organization. Today, and General Hopkinson's presence and remarks are 30 years nearly in the making. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a beautiful, heartfelt TAPS warm welcome to the Chief of the National Guard Bureau of the United States of America, General Daniel R. Hopkinson.
Thank you, Bonnie. Good morning. My wife Kelly and I are deeply honored to join you for the 27th Annual National Military Survivor Seminar and Good Grief Camp. First and foremost, Kelly and I are so sorry for the loss that brought you into the TAPS family. I'm sorry for the weight of the grief. I'm sorry that you know what it's like to hear the worst news imaginable. I'm sorry you've lost someone you love very much. I use love and not loved because it is love that is so powerful it can transcend death. I'm sorry you've joined what Helen Keller called the largest company in the world, the company of those who have known suffering. It does not matter how, where, or when you lost someone you love. The emotions remain the same, all of the sorrow, regret, and exhaustion. The way it takes all the color out of the world, the way our sadness goes from a dull ache to a sharp pain and then back again. How you can go from feeling okay and having a good day to being overcome by tears in the blink of an eye. But even within the company of those who have known suffering, you are unique because you love and lost a United States service member. Less than 1% of our nation serves in uniform. Less than 1% voluntarily takes an oath to our Constitution and puts everything, absolutely everything, on the line to protect it. It's not a calling for everyone. It's a calling for the brave, the selfless, and the strong. It's a calling for those who believe in something greater than themselves and those who not only believe, but live those beliefs. Serving your nation is a big deal. Every service member and every veteran is someone's hero, and not a single one of us serves alone. Our wives, our husbands, our parents, our children, our siblings, our colleagues, our friends, they are beside us both when we struggle and when we succeed. They make our service possible. As members of the military, we strive to make them proud. But when these heroes die, there is a hole in the world they leave behind. This is true for every loss, but because of the rare, unique, and extraordinary nature of military service, that hole multiplies to create an entirely new form of grief. Imagine you're making a snowflake. You fold the paper into a square, then cut pieces out of it. It doesn't take many cuts. It doesn't look like many holes, maybe just one or two. But when you unfold it, you see how those missing pieces multiply into a kaleidoscope of emptiness. It's not an isolated loss, even though it may feel that way. It's a loss that reaches far and wide, connecting unknown parts together, uniting them in sorrow. There are no small losses in the armed forces. We feel every single one of those cuts. We ache with every loss, and we carry on the memory of those missing. By serving in our military, your loved one chose to be part of something greater than themselves. In loving them, you became part of something greater. Everyone here and everyone watching on the live stream at home and countless others across the nation, you are now and forever part of our military survivor family. We see you, we care about you, and we are here for you. That's why I'm so honored to be part of this weekend and part of the TAPS family. Your loved one mattered. Their service mattered. Their smile, their hugs, their favorite things, their ambitions, their hopes, their fears, all of that mattered. They are not defined by the absence left in our lives, but the difference they made here on earth. We will always remember their lives, their service, and their sacrifice, and we hold them in our hearts with the highest of honor. They are not forgotten, and you are not forgotten. Long after this weekend is over, you and your loved ones will live on in my thoughts, and Kelly and I will thank God for the chance to be part of the TAPS mission and to support our military survivors. We will say a prayer for you and your family to find peace. We'll say a prayer for your strength in this lifelong journey. And most of all, we'll say a prayer of thanks for your loved ones who served and for each of you who carry on their memory. For 27 years, TAPS has done just that, carried on the memory of the fallen, and helped survivors endure their grief. Their compassionate care and their expansive network have helped more than 100,000 survivors. That number continues to grow every day. Today, I'm honored to renew the Memorandum of Understanding between TAPS and the National Guard Bureau. And as Bonnie just mentioned, this one is personal. TAPS was born out of tragedy. Death of 8 soldiers in the Army National Guard in a 1992 plane crash. Among them was Bonnie's husband, Brigadier General Tom Carroll. We still honor their service, we still say their names, and we still stand beside the survivors who mourn them. What is unique about TAPS is the level of commitment to all survivors. Your loved one may have not died on the battlefield. They might not have died in the line of duty. You may not be officially recognized as the next of kin, but TAPS has built a sanctuary that transcends those distinctions, honoring all service members who've lost their lives and supporting loved ones they left behind. Last year alone, nearly 5,000 people grieving their loved one who served in the National Guard turned to TAPS for support. With this Memorandum of Understanding, the National Guard Bureau hopes to raise awareness of this vital organization so we can connect survivors with the comfort and hope they deserve. I know every National Guard survivor connected with TAPS will receive the one-of-a-kind support that only the TAPS family can offer. Bonnie, and a member of Tom, National Guardsmen and women no longer with us, and all of the lost service members, and in support of the survivors who love them, I'm proud to sign this memorandum today. And if you don't mind joining me, I'd love to do that right now.
General Hopkinson, I can't tell you what that means to me personally and to all of our families here in this room. And I wanted to present you on behalf of all of us with just a token of our gratitude. Now, you have many military challenge coins, but at TAPS, we always want to go a little bigger. So we have this presentation, and we have, oh, there. We have here a little larger coin.
Thank you, Bonnie, and thanks for the just an incredible organization for all you do. So thankful to be part of this.
Your family. That is family. And I hope you just felt the love of General Hopkinson and his wife, Kelly, because I know I did. Now we are going to ask Frank Campbell, Dr. Frank Campbell, who is on our TAPS Board of Advisors. He is with us at our survivor seminars all around the country. He is an extraordinary member of this TAPS family. He's going to take a moment just to introduce the speakers who will be with us this weekend, get us started on our weekend, and just share a little bit more about what to expect. So thank you all. Dr. Frank, over to you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie Carroll, everybody. Let's give her a real round of applause. Thanks, our Joint Chiefs representative. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody. I want all the speakers to join me. They're in the audience up here. We've got about 6 minutes, so put on your jump boots and come on up. Everybody who's a workshop presenter, I want you to come on up right now. We're going to do a quick run through so you'll get to put a face with a title of a presentation. When you get a chance, look inside your presenter program and read Bonnie Carroll's bio. A lot of you know Bonnie, but you know this part of her. She's like an elephant. You know this toe or that toe. You need to read her bio because she is really an extraordinary human being. And if you haven't met a Presidential Medal of Freedom winner, go over and shake her hand, and then you can tell everybody you have. Because that's the kind of level we have in our leadership. And we so much appreciate the leaders that are with us today. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's give them one more round of applause. And now I'm going to have to give instruction to people who do not like taking instruction. Here's your goal. Step over to the mic, say a little bit about your workshop. If you know what page you're on in the presentation program, you can tell them, point them to that page, okay? They all had their high school pictures in the program, so this is a chance for you to recognize them from their current level. So one at a time, get up, and when I tap your shoulder, you're done, okay? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here this weekend with you in person. I am the little yoga expert, I guess, and I will be teaching the yoga and wellness for beginners. I have a workshop this afternoon and then also Sunday morning. So please come see me, bring yoga questions. I'm gonna give you a little yoga history and philosophy and science and all the good stuff behind why yoga helps with grief and other wellness practices that complement it. So come see me. Love you guys.
Just go down to the other end. We'll just rotate. Yep. That way you'll be up here when we get to the end. Pamela?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Pamela Gabay, and I am really honored to be here. Love seeing all of you. I normally don't dress like this. I'm normally on lower level, hanging out with kids and teens, and my workshop will be helping your grieving teens. That'll be one of them. The other one will be hands-on activities and projects that you can do as a family, and this will include all ages, and would love to see all of you. And like Bonnie, I am also a military daughter, so thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jim Gordon, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Center for Mind-Body Medicine, and I'm a friend of Bonnie's as well, and a member of the TAPS, a very proud and honored member of the TAPS Advisory Board for a number of years. It's beautiful to be here and to listen to Bonnie, to the sort of speaking of and emanating love, and to Ramon talking about leaving no one behind, because that's what this organization is about. It's about love, and it's about leaving no one behind, embracing all of us. I'm going to be doing 2 workshops today. One is on transforming trauma. I've worked during wars, after wars, in the Middle East and the Balkans, many other Africa, with military and veterans families for over 20 years. And as Bonnie said, I think it was Bonnie said in the beginning, this is about thriving, not just surviving. And what I'll be presenting is a comprehensive program for dealing with the trauma that everyone here has experienced, and the trauma also that all of humans experience. So it'll be a comprehensive program. We'll learn some things, we'll do some things. Maybe we'll cry, maybe we'll laugh, and we'll be together. So I'm very happy to be here with you. Bonnie, thank you very much.
You just stay on the stage at the other end, Jim. We're going to give everybody a round of applause at the end. Please, Denise.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Denise Rollins. I'm the Executive Director of the Whole Heart Grief and Life Resource Center, where we help people with the issues of life, loss, leadership, and legacy. Today, I have a session at 1:30 called First Aid for the Grieving Heart, and we'll look at the condition of your heart and how we can help. And then on Sunday at 1:30, we'll have another session of coaching yourself in grief. I always say, who do you call at 3 o'clock in the morning when you have no one to talk to? Don't call me. We'll find ways to help ourselves. So hopefully you'll attend.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Cadanas, and I just am overwhelmed to see everybody's teeth and to see you and to see smiles. And for those of you that are virtual, I'm so glad you're with us as well. I'm honored to be here as a presenter, as I really am humbled by the fact that you will trust me with your truths. And so the next 2 days, 3 days, actually counting today, my presentations are more about current and relevant challenges that you have. Thus, I call it Your Truths. This afternoon, I'll be talking about building new relationships with in-laws after a loss. Tomorrow, I will be speaking about finding peace one piece at a time, what you do with yours and your loved ones' possessions. And on Sunday, I will talk to you about living with loss, talk to us, each other together about living with loss one day at a time, because we will have this loss forever and we will together learn how to live with it. I am so humbled to be here this weekend. You're gonna make me cry. And thank you for letting me be a part of your family.
Thank you, Rachel. Where are you?
Well, good morning. My name is Bill Hoye. It is my great honor to get to be with all of you. I've been part of the TAPS Advisory Council for several years. I have the incredible joy most of the time of teaching the next generation of medical students at Baylor University about dealing with death, grief, and loss, and getting to share with them survivor stories from TAPS is one of the highlights of that course every semester. I have 3 workshops, one this afternoon on dealing with grief after caregiving. So when you've been the one who's taken care of your loved one who has died. Tomorrow morning, I'll talk about grief and guilt. And then the last workshop tomorrow morning that I will present has to do with finding hope. So thank you for your service, and so grateful and honored to be with you.
Thank you, Bill. Hello, everybody. My name is William Wagacy. I will not be your yoga instructor. So, I'm a former Navy SEAL, 10 years between 2002 and 2012, served 4 combat tours through Iraq, 1 Afghanistan. I have 2 workshops, one on Saturday, one on Sunday afternoon. It's called Finding Invictus. It's conversations on courage and kindness to be where we're at and have the strength to move forward. It's about living a deliberate life with the time that we have in this life as we move through, taking ground, setting, having purpose, goals and conviction as we move forward. Managing those mountaintop experiences as well as the valleys as we take ground, also having fallback positions if we're having a rough time or a rough day. So please, it's conversational. You're welcome to share, and hope we do, and I look forward to hopefully seeing somebody. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Candice Wheeler, and I am honored to be the director for the policy department at TAPS. And Ashlyn Haycock, who really needs no introduction. She has grown up as a TAPS family member. She is a 2-time survivor, and I'm very proud to work with her every day as my deputy for policy. And together we'll be putting on a workshop entitled Use Your Voice for Change. And Ashlyn, you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yes, so for those of you who don't know what we do every day, we spend a fair amount of time advocating on your behalf on Capitol Hill with Department of Veterans Affairs, Department of Defense, and all of the other federal agencies out there. So we'll be talking to you about, one, what TAPS legislative priorities are on the Hill this year, including issues such as toxic exposure and remarriage, but also how you guys can get involved and advocate for yourselves and get involved in the work that we're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Carla Stumpf-Patton, and I work for TAPS as the Senior Director to our suicide prevention and postvention programs. I too come from a very large military family and am also a survivor of loss, a surviving spouse. So I'm here as a fellow peer to support you as our support staff throughout the event, and we'll be presenting on Sunday on Loving Again After the Loss of an Intimate Partner. So if those are you who are here, we would love to have you join the session.
Hi, I'm Andy Mcneil, and I'm the Senior Advisor to Youth Programs and Young Adult Programs here at TAPS. It is my sacred honor to spend time with your kiddos this weekend, those who are parents. We're going to take good care of them, and we're going to love them all weekend, and then we'll give them back to you. And hopefully with big smiles on their faces and hope in their heart. I am going to be providing a session on Sunday on spirituality and grief. It's sometimes a tough conversation, and I invite you into that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So if you know anything about TAPS, you know that we're never far from food. And one of the challenges we have now is to turn this room around so that we can eat again. And so what I want to do very quickly is say my workshops are in the program. I've got 4 this weekend, 1 today, 1 tomorrow, and 2, Remember the Dash, Grief Can Do That, Metaphors for Healing. And I have a men's only workshop. Ladies, I'm sorry. If you wear a disguise, you will be patted down. But we are grateful that you're all here today. We so much appreciate the leadership joining us. And now, give our speakers a hand and then get out of here. Give them a hand. Thank you. And as my mother used to say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Get out. Thank you.